Okay, so first of all, I'm on my own today with filming, so I hope that you don't get motion sickness or that you're bothered by kind of this one person filming type thing I'm doing. So you might want to turn back now if that kind of thing bothers you. I would like to show you, secondly, this lavender. Wholly amazing. It is gorgeous. I'll put up another video before or after showing you this. It is absolutely enormous and gorgeous. This type of lavender is called fern leaf. I bought it as a little bitty baby plant. I wouldn't even call it a plant, more like a sprout, just very small. And it grew so huge this year, which is good, because the last 2 years I tried to do lavender. I sacrificed every plant possible to try and keep doing it and I just wanted to grow lavender. I just wanted to, and I didn't care the cost of how many plants had to RIP. So, since I grew it, this is awesome. Now I'm gonna show you this really cute wreath. I'll probably stop the video and put that video because I actually just got in from filming the outside of this. I didn't use the fern leaf lavender, but I used this lavender. It is not the English one either. It starts with the M. I'll put the name below. But that's the lavender that I used to make the wreath that I'm about to show you. And here's the little foliage. So it's pretty like mint green. So yeah, I think it's super cute and I can't wait for you to make it. And also the other plant on it is called a liatris. It grows by like little bulbs and then those multiply and make more bulbs. You can also grow them from seed. They take a couple years to turn to their bulb, which makes flowers. And the flowers are so gorgeous. And the best part is if you can cut them while they're bloomed, they'll actually dry and keep a lot of their color. If you hear babies in the background, they're giving me a moment of silence while being themselves in there. So they're having fun. But yeah, this is the lavender that I got it off of, and the liatris dries so gorgeous, and it's all the way dry in the video. So that's what it looks like. And the lavender is also dry, just not the green foliage that I took from it later, but the buds and the buds of liatris are. Okay, so how to make this thingy. First of all, this is probably gonna be hilarious to you, but you get a ring foam from the store. Then you preferably want the ones that your kids found and decided to bite some of the sides off of while you weren't looking. Look at that, isn't it gorgeous? It's so ready to be a wreath. And the next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna unbundle this. You probably don't wanna wait too many days to do this. I cut mine last night, so I'm doing my 2-day. It would have even been better if I would have done it the second I kind of cut it, just because when your lavender does dry, it becomes pretty brittle and crispy, and you don't want to be able to, you want to be able to put it around the wreath without it crumbling everywhere. And if your lavender's been drying for a while, it would probably be just totally impossible. So what I basically did was I wrapped as much as you can until you don't see the foam anymore. So right there, you'd obviously need to add more. Right here's looking pretty good. Right there, I'd need obviously a lot because it's totally exposed. So we're looking at this right now. What we're gonna do is essentially just wrap. I'm gonna do it in pieces and probably show you pictures, and also do a video at the end to show you what it looks like. But for the steps, I'm probably just gonna have to show you how I wrapped it in pieces, each one. And as you're wrapping it, this one's gonna be a little different than the first one I did because it is fern. It's a fern leaf one, and it's got these really long, cute, spiky stems on it. So I'm gonna have to wrap that around as I go, so that'll be something new. But all I needed for this was the foam ring, and I think I even got this one. It could have been more than a couple bucks. Scissors and string. I'm using all these different colors of purple I got because I think that just made it look cute. So I've got about 3. I think I even have a 4th color over there. About 4 colors. like the coffee creamer beside the Jameson, and then the Nerds box, by the way, too. But yeah, there's 3 different kinds of yarn I like to use just to make it look pretty when it's spooled around it rather than one color or clear. I bet twine would look cute too. So I'm gonna get off here and let you guys look at the photos of the progress and hope you guys make yours out of something fun or any other dry flowers you can find. I'm gonna add one more thing. This plant grew really, really big, so I'm thinking I won't need near as much of the actual plant to use, but this plant, it's probably a medium to, it was probably on the smaller side of lavender whenever I cut it. So that made one of these whole wreaths, which was still, I mean, it was a big, big bundle. So you're gonna need a pretty big bundle to make a whole wreath. But yeah, in this case, this is a lot, so this actually might make a few. So yeah. I know I keep saying I'm gonna leave you alone, and I'm not. So first of all, sorry, I'm obviously a liar. I wanted to show you that I pulled the yarn on here. I got it all the way around before I tried to secure it. So I'm not trying to do, you really want to make sure you get at least all the way around your section. You don't want to leave any bald spots during this step because it's going to be really hard to add pieces. Or I guess it won't be that difficult, but more and more of your lavender is going to get squished the more yarn you have to use. And I kind of want to loosely use, you know, a little bit so you can see the plant more so than a bunch of string in the way. So to keep, less string in the way, you just put more around it to start. And I wish I could find a way to prop this phone, and I just don't think that's going to happen. But it's kind of like one of those sage sticks. Let's see if the lavender, will you hold my thing? Or how about this glass? Hey, that totally works-ish. I can't see what I'm looking at, so I hope you can see the camera. But what I'm gonna do is wrap it. It's not as together. It's not as close together as some of these, as those sticks may be, but I'm going to definitely try to make it tight. Not too tight to where, you know, I'm just pulverizing the whole stem because I don't want it to just break off. I do want it to dry and look pretty, but when it does dry, it's gonna kind of shrink a little. That's just what it does when it dries. And with this one, it may actually shrink even more than the normal ones because it does have pretty thick stalks here. And I'm just gonna wrap this around until I get to the spot near the top here is where I'm gonna be getting to seeing some bald spots. Anytime I run out of yarn, I just get a different color. I've cut these into about, whoa, I'm grabbing the wrong pieces of yarn here. Each one of them is about 2 feet. You might even want to cut them shorter. You'll just have more places where you could see where you've tied it off. But honestly, I don't even think that looks bad. It just depends on how you like yours. I don't mind if mine looks homemade and whimsical. I think that actually makes it look cooler. But I also wouldn't want the whole thing like that. So I'm already seeing too that doing this, it's going to be kind of difficult to keep the flowers from getting squished. But what I'm going to do is actually just cut these short. And then I'm going to use, because the sticks are just so pretty and I don't want them to be hidden underneath any foliage at all, I'm going to come back behind and actually just put these on top. That will make me have to use more yarn, but I think it will be very pretty and effective as a pretty wreath. And so yeah. So if you cut your stems off just sometime before the blooms are happening and layer this on as much as you can, going all the way around, I think it's gonna make a cute wreath. I think I only have to do maybe like 3 more. I'm looking at maybe 3 more, but I'm pretty much halfway around. All right, near the end here, again, I don't know how well you can see it. I'm actually getting to where, yes, I ended up doing it 3 times, by the way, and cutting these some short and leaving some as I went, just depending on how much I thought they were going to be in the way and squeezed. So get near the end, I'm gonna have to add a few more pieces and maybe cut off some of the heads for you. But this actually worked out really good that I left this last little batch on from the 3rd round. Since I left that is gonna make it pretty easy in a second here to not have to go back and wrap too much more of the buds onto our wreath here. Then, babies are singing, it's pretty cute. At this point, this is what you have. And I'm going to just climb this up as far as I kind of can. I'm going to go under the pieces that I want sticking up. For example, I want to go over this, but under these pieces. So I want to go under the buds, but I still want to go over these stems so the buds stay up, and look, those go down. And now I'm kind of going over the buds now, so I don't have to worry about it. And I'm going over the sticks there, and they're laying down, and as I go, look how fun, the buds are just sticking up and the stems are going down. And I might come in and tie some just to keep some from getting too crazy. I also have some of this other lavender that I think I'm gonna add in with it, just because it's as pretty as this fern leaf lavender is, it's lavender. It doesn't bloom quite as just all over. It actually starts kind of like a liatris, but the liatris blooms from the top to the bottom. This blooms from the bottom to the top. So you really don't get, when you try to cut it in its prime, when it's bloomed as much as it can be bloomed, you really still don't get near as much purple as you'd like, or as I'd like either. But on the other hand, you get lots of foliage. So you could do one of these without having to use so much of your plant. So it's kind of cool to use both of these 2 different types of lavender to get a whole look, get the most out of it. So I'm gonna add these just in right here. They smell so good. Oh my goodness. And they, most of the regular lavenders, I know that the English one has a lot bigger fragrance than the fern leaf lavender. Doesn't smell quite as good, or no, it doesn't smell bad. It just doesn't have as high a fragrance as the other lavenders. So that's also why it's nice to have the other ones around, because if you want to effectively wrap your wreath all in lavenders, you get a lot of foliage from the fern leaf, and the other ones just leave it smelling good with a bunch of full blooms. I'm really gonna pack it onto one side, I think. I don't want too much around it, but I am gonna go over and under right here where I've got something in my way. And I think I might add on, oh my gosh, look how cute. I don't know, these ones are like rocking my world right now. They're so cute. Just seeing where I need to add any more. I'll kind of lay those back down. I think I'm gonna go for, this is my 5th piece of string. So I'm using 5 pieces of string, about, or at least 2 foot a piece, about, so that many. I don't know what game that is, if you guys can even hear the babies. It's like evil animals. Okay. Do a little over under, see which buds I want sticking out. And remember, I think I already told you this, but make sure you don't do it too loose, because you don't want any lavender obviously falling off, but don't do it too tight either. Definitely not too loose, if anything, because you don't want pieces falling, and when it dries, like I said, the stems will shrink in the leaves. And this thing is probably, you know, I want to see how long, like an update, I might do an update video on how long I could keep mine without it, you know, completely falling apart, or if it lost its smell. I'm not so worried about the smell, but I really would like to know how good it'll hold its color. I'm just adding lavender in wherever I can find a spot. making sure it's wherever I'm putting it in, it is tightly secure. And I think I'm getting near the end of it. It is good if you keep going around the plant until you find an extra piece of string. I don't know if you can see that. You can find an extra piece of string to tie this onto, because if not, you just kind of keep going around and around. So if you do want to keep these a little longer, or at least one piece, that's a good place to tie that off. All right, but yeah, I still don't know what this camera can or can't see from this angle, but here is the little lavender wreath, and the other one I did it was my lavender and liatris wreath. You would just add that to the side just as you were climbing the other ones around. I think I put my lavender around and then added it the second time when I was putting extra buds. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. I'm gonna do more wreaths in the future. I just gotta find stuff like gomphrena and different flowers that I didn't grow this year that will dry and keep color, so they just look pretty on the wreath. Or, I mean, even if it looks like a tumbleweed with dry stuff, dead is cool too. Dead is in. So, woohoo, and have a good day. This is the fern leaf lavender. Or as I call it, the little chicken feet. Because looky there. I bought it as a 6-inch to 12-inch plant. And this is me just pruning it. It grew about this tall in the garden, taller than me. And then we chopped it down.